Outline for essay. Should the death sentence be implemented globally? Introduction. Arguments in favor of global implementation. Deterrence of crime. Retributive justice. Public safety. Economic perspective. Arguments against global implementation. Possibility of wrongful convictions. Moral and ethical concerns. Ineffectiveness as a deterrent. Discrimination and bias. Global perspective. Conclusion. Introduction. Brief explanation of what the death sentence, capital punishment, is. Historical context, practiced for centuries but debated in modern times. Thesis statement. The death penalty is a controversial issue. Supporters see it as justice and deterrence, while opponents view it as inhumane and flawed. Arguments against global implementation. One possibility of wrongful convictions. Judicial errors can lead to innocent lives being taken. DNA evidence has overturned many wrongful death sentences. 2. Retributive justice. An eye for an eye, victims' families may feel justice is served. Punishment matches the severity of the crime. 3. Public safety. Permanently removes dangerous criminals from society. Prevents reoffending or prison escapes. 4. Economic perspective. Some argue life imprisonment costs taxpayers more than executions. Arguments in favor of global implementation. 1. Deterrence of crime. Fear of execution may discourage heinous crimes like murder and terrorism. Examples from countries where crime rates reduced after strict death penalty laws. 2. Moral and ethical concerns. Taking a life, even by law, may be considered inhumane. Many religions and philosophies promote forgiveness over revenge. 3. Ineffectiveness as a deterrent. Studies show no clear evidence that death penalty reduces crime more than life imprisonment. 4. Discrimination and bias. Death penalty often disproportionately affects minorities and the poor. Unequal access to quality legal defense increases unfair sentencing. Global perspective. Some countries, e.g. Saudi Arabia, China, USA, still actively use it. Others, e.g. EU nations, Canada, Australia, have abolished it completely. Growing international movements toward abolition, Amnesty International, UN resolutions. Conclusion. Death sentence remains one of the most debated topics in law and ethics. Arguments on both sides are strong, but the risk of wrongful execution and moral concerns challenge global adoption. Final stance. Instead of implementing it globally, each country should decide based on its legal, cultural, and ethical framework, while ensuring justice and human rights are protected. Essay over 500 words. Should the death sentence be implemented globally? The death sentence, also known as capital punishment, is one of the oldest and most controversial forms of punishment in human history. From ancient civilizations to modern states, societies have long debated whether taking the life of a criminal can truly serve justice. Today, while some countries enforce the death penalty strictly, others have abolished it completely, believing it to be a violation of human rights. The question remains, should the death sentence be implemented globally? The issue is complex, involving legal, moral, cultural, and social dimensions. Supporters of the death penalty argue that it serves as a powerful deterrent against serious crimes. They claim that the fear of execution prevents individuals from committing heinous acts such as murder, terrorism, and mass violence. For instance, in some nations with strict capital punishment laws, violent crime rates have reportedly decreased. By instilling fear in potential offenders, the death sentence is seen as a protective mechanism for society. Proponents also believe in the principle of retributive justice. If a person intentionally takes a life, they too should face the ultimate penalty. This, they argue, not only balances justice but also brings a sense of closure to victims' families. Another argument in favor of capital punishment is that it ensures public safety. When dangerous criminals are executed, the possibility of them committing further crimes is completely eliminated. Unlike life imprisonment, where prisoners may escape or reoffend, the death penalty permanently removes the threat. Furthermore, some argue from an economic perspective, pointing out that maintaining prisoners for life requires significant public expenditure, while execution can be less costly in the long term. From this angle, the death penalty is presented as both practical and just. On the other hand, critics strongly oppose the global implementation of the death sentence. One of the most significant concerns is the possibility of wrongful convictions. History provides many examples where individuals were sentenced to death only to be proven innocent later through DNA testing or new evidence. Once carried out, the death penalty is irreversible. No justice can be restored to the wrongly executed. This flaw in legal systems makes capital punishment highly risky and unjust. Moreover, opponents argue that the death penalty is morally and ethically wrong. Taking a life, even that of a criminal, is seen as contradicting the principles of humanity, compassion, and rehabilitation. Many religious teachings emphasize forgiveness, mercy, and the chance for redemption rather than revenge. Critics also question the effectiveness of the death penalty as a deterrent, since research shows no consistent evidence that countries with capital punishment have lower crime rates than those without it. Life imprisonment, they argue, can be equally effective without taking away the chance of reform. Another concern is the discriminatory nature of death sentences. In many cases, those from marginalized groups, minorities, or poor economic backgrounds are more likely to face capital punishment. Inequality in access to legal defense further amplifies this bias, leading to unfair and disproportionate applications of the death penalty. Such disparities undermine the fairness and credibility of justice systems worldwide. Globally, there is a deep divide in attitudes toward capital punishment. Countries like China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United States continue to implement it actively. In contrast, European Union member states, Canada, and Australia have abolished it entirely, considering it a violation of human rights. International organizations such as Amnesty International and the United Nations have repeatedly called for the abolition of the death penalty, emphasizing the importance of humane justice systems. In conclusion, the death sentence remains a divisive and complex issue. While it offers arguments of deterrence, justice, and public safety, it also raises serious concerns regarding wrongful convictions, morality, and discrimination. Implementing it globally would be difficult and controversial, given the diverse cultural, legal, and ethical values across nations. Instead of universal enforcement, each country must carefully evaluate whether the death penalty aligns with its principles of justice, fairness, and human dignity. Ultimately, a global conversation is necessary to balance justice with humanity, ensuring that punishment serves society without compromising the value of human life.